Today, we will be discussing the last part or last chapter of the lessons under basic calculus, which is integration. So dito na magsa-start yung integral. So here, you will know how to solve integrals. So, and you will know kung ano yung integral. And we will try to apply all the concepts that you will learn here in solving problems in real life situation. Okay? So the first lesson that we're going to tackle is the antiderivative of a function. So here you are expected to illustrate the antiderivative of a function, and we will compute the general antiderivative of polynomial, radical, exponential, and trigonometric functions. Now, before we are going to start, um, let me know if you are ready to listen, okay, for our discussion. Press 1 naman dyan so that I will know that you are really listening. Ayun, may pag-1 na sila. Okay, ayan. Okay, so to start our discussion, let us have first this activity. Okay, so here you are going to do the task given, and I think kaya nyo naman ito. Okay, so this is just a somewhat a review of what you know sa derivatives. Okay, so the first question will be this one. Provide a function whose derivative is equal to 3. Drop your answer in the comment section. So here, you are going to provide a function whose derivative is equal to 3. Okay? Sige daw. Let me check if there are answers here in the chat box. Meron na ba? Again, you are going to provide a function whose derivative is equal to 3. So we have answers here from Ruthie and Angelique, 3x, f of x equal to 3x. So I will just write it here. So we have 3x. What else? Is there any other function whose derivative is equal to 3 aside from 3x? O when 3x rin? Is there any other function aside from 3x whose derivative is equal to 3? Meron ba? May hahabol ba? So we have 3x. What else? Who can provide another function with derivative equal to 3 aside from 3x? Meron ba dito? 3x plus 5. Okay, I will write it down here. 3x plus 5. You check if the derivative is really equal to 3. Now, what else? I would like to ask two more answers. Aside from 3x, 3x plus 5, can you provide another function with derivative equal to 3? With its derivative is equal to 3? Aside from 3x and 3x plus 5. Sino pang pwedeng magbigay ng function? Meron ba dito? Wala na ba aside from this two functions? Okay, 10, 9, 8, wala nang hahabol. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think wala na. Okay, so here, let's check if the functions provided, okay, really has a derivative equal to 3. Okay, now for the first function, f of x equal to 3x, we all know using the constant multiple rule, right, that the derivative is equal to 3, right? So the derivative of this one is equal to 3. And for the second function, 3x plus 5, the derivative of 3x is 3 plus the derivative of 5 is 0. So therefore, 3 plus 0, we have 3. Therefore, both functions that you gave really has derivative equal to 3. Okay? So tama yung ibinigay ninyo. Now, can we provide another function? Yes. What if I have 3x minus 1? Is the derivative still equal to 3? Yes or no? Yes. Now, what if I have 3x plus 100? Is the derivative still equal to 3? Yes. So therefore, all these functions, ang derivative nila equal to 3. And as you can see, as long as you will just add a certain constant to 3x, the derivative will always be equal to 3 because the derivative of a constant is equal to 0, right? Okay, so therefore, we will just add a constant. And the functions here only differ by the added constant. Okay? So, ganon siya. So, there. Now, what if I will change the function? No, the derivative. From 3, I will make it x. Now, can you provide a function whose derivative is equal to x? Provide a function whose derivative is equal to x. Okay, when you um ayun, binawi. If you are going to provide a function, make sure if you will differentiate the function, the answer will always be equal to x. Okay? Sige. Oh. So, is there any answers na ba? Okay, wala pa. So, let's wait. Baka nag-construct pa yung iba. You formulate a function na yung derivative niya ay equal to x. Sino kaya yung unang makakapagbigay? Sige. Again, provide a function whose derivative is equal to x. Sino kaya yung unang makapagbibigay ng function? Sige, formulate kayo. You construct a function. Tingnan natin if you can give. Okay, present to sir. Karon. Okay, okay, okay. Noted, noted. Okay, also, can Jan present. Okay, noted. Check ko yan mamaya. May function na ba? Medyo mahirap bang mag-formulate? X. X. What is the derivative of x? Is it equal to x? Okay, so we have 1 from Mara. We have 1/2 x squared. Grabe naman yung y equals to f of x. Ibigay nyo yung f of x. Ano ba dapat yung form ni f of x? Okay. Anyway, we have one answer here from Mara. 1/2 x squared. So 1/2 x squared. If you try to differentiate 1/2 x squared, is the derivative equal to x? So you check. Okay? Sige, try nyong i-check. Next, provide another function with derivative equal to x aside from 1/2 x squared. Sino ang makapagbibigay? Aside from 1/2 x squared, like what we did sa first example or first na task. Ano yung ginawa natin? So can you provide a function? So let's wait. Shoot, sorry. Okay, so we have 1 half x squared plus 2. Very good. Plus 2. We also have from Ruthie. Also 1 half x squared plus 2 is from Owen. So from Ruthie, we have 1 half x squared minus 1. Who else? Can you provide another one? Okay, in a count of 5. 5, 4. Merong hahabol. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we have three functions here. Now, if you will try to differentiate the first function, 1 half x squared, using the constant multiple rule and the power rule, so you will just bring down the exponent, right? So we have 2 times 1 half, that is equal to 1. Then x to the 2 minus 1, so that is x to the power of 1, or just x. Therefore, the derivative of this function is just x. For the second one, so the first term has a derivative equal to x and the second term is 0. Therefore, the derivative is also equal to x. The same with the third function because they only differ by the given constant. So from that, so we have provided a function whose derivative is equal to x and they only differ by the added constant. Okay, so therefore there are a lot of answers or functions with derivative equal to x. Okay, so very good. Thank you for these functions. Now for the last one, what if I will change again the derivative to 2x? What if 2x siya? What will be the function? Or can you provide a function? I think 2x is easier than x. Tama? What will be the function? Ayon, so may agad na nagbigay. We have x squared from Owen. So x squared. Another function aside from x squared. X squared plus 4. How about yung iba? Okay, paulit-ulit lang yung mga pangalan na nababasa ko dito. Where are the other students here? We have rubbish siya. Oh yeah, pwede yan. X squared. What else? Another function. What if I have x squared plus pi? Pwede ba yan? Can we have that function? Is the derivative still equal to 2x? Yes or no? Yes, right? So therefore, as long as you will just add a certain constant to x squared, the derivative will always be equal to 2x. Okay? So, yon. So, I think nakukuha nyo na yung pattern. Now, I would like to ask someone. Okay. Kasi kanina, yung nababasa ko ng paulit-ulit ay from Ruthie Owen. Right? Sige, unahin natin si Ruthie. Ruthie, can you please unmute your mic?
Yes, sir.
Hello. So this is my question. How did you come up with those functions? Like for x, bakit yung function niya is 1 half x squared? Why is it for 2x na derivative, you have a function na x squared? Paano nyo siya finormulate?
Ano, sir, like, you would just go back a few steps. Di ba na kayo follow nga steps in finding the derivative of a function? So, mura ka mo walk in reverse ganun, sir.
Okay, so therefore, but you don't have a certain technique parang nagigess lang kayo as long as the derivative will be equal to the given function. Ganun ba?
Yes, sir. Wala, sir.
Okay, so you are just guessing. Okay? So as long as you know the concepts of derivative, if you have mastered that one, okay, pwede nyong kunin yung original function if given yung derivative. Okay, so we are just taking the reverse process, right? But here, you are just guessing. Pero mamaya, you will know the process. Okay? And ano ba itong ginagawa natin? Why is it that we are doing the reverse process? Anong kinalaman niya ngayon sa lesson natin? So once again, our lesson is on antiderivative. Anong kinalaman ni antiderivative to this activity? Okay? So let us now define antiderivative. So sabi dito, ayun yung luguma. Ayun. So a function uppercase f is an antiderivative of the lowercase f. So when we denote antiderivative, we will write it down. The letters should be in uppercase or in capital letter. Okay? So uppercase f is the antiderivative of the lowercase f. On an interval I, if the uppercase f prime of x, meaning the derivative of the uppercase f is equal to the lowercase f. Meaning, yung derivative pala ni f or ni antiderivative is equal to the lowercase f or yung given function. Okay, for every values of x in I. Therefore, antiderivative is just the reverse process of derivative. So we are now having the reversed process. If we have x squared, if you will take the derivative, it is equal to 2x, right? Now, if we have 2x, the antiderivative is equal to x squared. Then we will have it mamaya plus a certain constant. Tama? Because we know the derivative of a constant is always equal to 0. And mas madidiscuss natin siya mamaya. Why is it important to put plus c? Okay? So here, we are taking the derivative. While here sa kabila, we are taking the antiderivative. Okay? So therefore, antiderivative is just the reverse process of derivative. Okay? And since differentiation is the process of taking the derivative, anti-differentiation is the process of finding the antiderivative. And as you can see kanina from our activity, the antiderivative of the antiderivative f or yung capital letter f of a function f is not unique, right? They differ by the added constant. Okay? Mamaya malalaman natin na yung plus c, if we have plus c, that is the general antiderivative, and if we have a certain or a particular value of c, that is the particular antiderivative. Okay? So from that remark, we have now this theorem. Okay? So the theorem is, we have this one. If f is an antiderivative of f, so uppercase f, then lowercase f, on an interval I, then every antiderivative of the lowercase f on I is given by the uppercase f of x plus c, where c is an arbitrary constant. As what I've said kanina, the antiderivative of a certain function is not unique. Okay, there are a lot of antiderivatives of a certain function. They just differ by the added constant. So we have plus c. Okay, so I hope the definition and the theorem here are clear to you. Is there any questions, clarifications regarding the definition and the theorem on anti-differentiation? Is there any questions? If there is none, kindly press 2 so that we can proceed. Basta yung tatandaan lang natin, When we say antiderivative, that is just the reverse process. Given the derivative, hahanapin natin yung original function. Okay? Okay. So, meron ng tattoo dito. Marami na sila. Okay? So, let us now... Ay, bakit dalawa yan? Proceed. So, let's have an example. So here, we have let f of x, the lowercase f of x is equal to negative 8x cubed minus 10x plus 5. And the uppercase f of x is equal to negative 2x to the power of 4 minus 5x squared plus 5x plus 3. Show that the uppercase f of x is an antiderivative of the lowercase f of x. Okay? So how are we going to show that the uppercase f of x is really an antiderivative of f of x? I would like to ask someone. You base your answer sa definition. Okay? So, sinong pwedeng sumagot or who has an idea? Okay? Meron ba tayong volunteer dito? How are we going to show that the given function f of x, uppercase f of x, is the antiderivative of the lowercase f of x? Who wants to answer my question? Meron ba? You may raise your hand so that ma-recognize kayo. Ayun. Akala ko na may nag-raise ng hand. Left the group pala. Charo. Anyway, wala ba? Sige, I would like to ask someone na lang. Okay? Sige. Si ano na lang, si Angelique. Hello, Angelique. Can you please unmute your mic?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have an idea on how to show that the uppercase f of x is an antiderivative of the lowercase f of x? What are we going to do?
Um, wait lang, sir.
Ah, Based on our definition, kanina, the antiderivative is this one. Ayan. So, antiderivative daw si uppercase f of the function lowercase f if f prime of x, the uppercase f prime of x is equal to the lowercase f of x. So, ito yung palatandaan. So, what do you think yung gagawin natin? Meron ba? Nawala si Angelique?
Ay, ano, sir. Yan yun. Mag-perform ka og
Wa sa man.
like kuha mo ang differentiation aning kaning ni capital F gali, sir.
Okay,
So
so
like
therefore, you will take the
ah,
derivative of the uppercase f of x.
yes,
Tama?
sir.
Then,
Uh,
you will check if tapos ka nang
if
mag-differentiate,
i-check mo if same sila, sir.
saon sa
If
man.
equal ba sila ang kaning small letter F of X o
Okay. Okay, very good. Okay, thank you, Angelique. So that's it. So according to the definition, the uppercase f of x is the antiderivative of the lowercase f of x if the derivative of the uppercase f of x is equal to f of x. So therefore, to show that f of x is an antiderivative of f of x lahat, okay? Uppercase then lowercase, you are going to check the derivative of the uppercase f of x and check if equal siya sa other function. Okay, so therefore, what we're going to do is to differentiate the uppercase f of x. So we have f prime of x here. So what will be the derivative? So here we have negative 2x to the power of 4. Applying the, okay, so you try na lang. Try to differentiate, then write your answer in the comment section. Let's check later if it is really equal to the lowercase f of x. So what is the derivative of the uppercase f of x. So you check the derivative of negative 2x to the power of 4 minus 5x to the power of 2 plus 5x plus 3. So what will be the derivative? Do we have answers here? Okay, so we have negative, okay, very good. Negative 8x cubed. Then we have minus 10x and plus 5. And as you can see, this derivative is equal to the lowercase f of x. So they are equal. Thus, we conclude that f of x is an antiderivative of the lowercase f of x. Okay? So that's it. So ganun lang yung gagawin ninyo. You will look for the derivative of the uppercase f of x and check if that derivative is equal to the other function given. Okay? So ganun lang siya. Now, let's have another example. Is this clear? Is that clear to you? Do you have any questions for the first example? If wala, kindly press 1. Ayun. Okay. Let's have another one. Which of the following is or are antiderivatives of f of x equal to 3x squared plus 1? Is it A, B, or C? So A is f of x equal to x cubed plus x plus 1. B is x cubed plus 2x plus 1. And C is h of x equal to x cubed plus x plus 5. So from the question, you can have at least one answer. So what do you think? Which of the following is or are antiderivatives of f of x equal to 3x squared plus 1? So we have answers here, A and C, C. So yon, C sub, okay. So, now, ano nga yung gagawin natin? We will check the derivative. Tama? So, let's differentiate f prime of x. The derivative is just use the power rule. So we have 3x squared plus 1. Tama? And this one is equal to the lowercase f of x. So okay siya. How about g prime of x? This is equal to 3x squared plus 2, right? So I know, alam nyo na kung paano yan ay i-differentiate. So from that, this is not equal to f of x. And for the last one, h prime of x, we have 3x squared plus 1 also. And that is equal to f of x. Therefore, f and h are antiderivatives of the given function 3x squared plus 1. So si A at C yung tama. Okay? I hope clear siya. Okay. Now, let's practice more. Okay? Practice tayo. So what you're going to do is we will be having a matching type na activity. So you will match the functions in column A with their corresponding antiderivatives in column B. So the functions are given in column A and the antiderivatives are given in column B. So ima-match lang natin sila. Okay, so we have 5 functions here. So you try to match. Okay? Then you write your answer later. I will give you 5 minutes. Maybe 5 minutes is enough. Okay? 5 minutes to answer this activity. Okay, so you try to look for the antiderivatives of the given functions in column A. Then you match it in column B. Okay, so ganun lang yung gagawin nyo. 5 minutes. The time is 3:41. So it is expected that we will end at 3:46. Okay, time starts now. I will be calling somebody later to share their answers. Okay? So okay, go. Medyo madilim pala ako ngayon. And, kariyan. Where is my eyeglass? Okay, it's already time. So let's answer this one. Okay, I would like to ask, sige, start tayo kay Andre. Hello, Andre. Can you please,
Isang
and,
Android, sir.
Andre Tatad.
Number one, sir, no, sir.
Yes, number one. What is your answer for number one?
Ah, ano, sir? C, sir?
Letter C. Okay, very good. Now, you try to differentiate letter C. Dapat, yung derivative niya will be equal to negative 4x squared minus 9x minus 1. And I think, equal naman sila. Huh? Letter C? Again, Andre? Is it letter C? Wait. Is it letter C?
Nag-iibog-bubog ko, sir.
Ah,
Pero,
Okay, sige. Let's try another person. Let's check if tama ba. You try to differentiate letters C and J. Now, if equal siya sa number 1, then that will be the answer. Okay. Donald is raising his hand.
Sir, try na ko, sir, one, sir, no?
Okay, number 1. What will be your answer? What is your answer?
One, sir. Basig B. B ba, sir?
Letter
B,
what?
B, B. Boy.
B. Okay, boy. So therefore, 1 is to B. Now you check, you differentiate letter B. So first, we differentiate negative 4 thirds x cubed. That is equal to, I think, negative 4x squared. Then negative 9 halves x squared. The derivative is negative 9x. Negative x, the derivative is negative 1. Plus 35, derivative is 0. Therefore, the derivative is equal to the given function in number 1. So therefore, number 1, the answer is letter B. Okay, B dapat siya. Now, let number 2. Who wants to answer number 2? What is your answer? You may raise your hand or okay, Vea.
D, sir.
Letter D. Letter D. Letter D. Is it letter D? Okay, correct. Okay. So, sir, how are you going to check again? Pag-check natin, you differentiate this one. Dapat equal siya sa number 2. 11x squared minus 121. You know how to differentiate, right? So, kayo nang mag-check. Okay? Number 3. Who wants to answer number 3? Christian. Yes, Christian.
Sir, F, sir.
Letter F. Okay, very good. Okay, letter F. Okay, so that is letter F. You try to differentiate, madali lang yan. How about number 4? Dalawa sila. Unahin natin yung unang pangalan. Krisha.
Letter E, sir.
Letter E. Eagle, right? Letter
Yes, sir.
E. Okay, how did you get the antiderivative, Krisha? Anong
Ako
una yung
nag-get,
ginawa?
akong nag-get actually, sir, is x cubed minus 3x.
Then,
And then, ako na lang din siyang tawagan, factor? Yeah.
okay, so first, you distribute,
Ah,
right?
yeah, yes, sir.
Distribute. Then you will have x cubed minus
Minus
3x.
3x.
From that, it is easier now to locate kung sino yung antiderivative, right? So
Yes, sir.
yun. Thank you, Krisha. Last one, number 5. Number 5. Wants to answer number 5. Do we have someone? Raise, ayun. Dalawa ulit sila. Unahin natin yung unang pangalan. Angelique. It's
Letter C, sir.
letter C. What did you do first?
Um, distribute sa ning duha ka term, sir.
Okay, so you expand this one. What is the expansion?
2x squared minus 5x minus 3, sir.
Minus 3. And after that, you check kung sino yung antiderivative niya. And I think it's really letter C. Okay, so that's it. Okay, thank you very much. So tama lahat yung answers natin. Okay, so I guess nakukuha niyo na siya ngayon. Now, from our activity, the antiderivatives are already given, right? So that's why yung ginagawa natin is we differentiate the antiderivatives. Now, what if hindi siya given? Like sa activity number 1. What if yung derivative lang yung given? What will you do to find the antiderivative? Okay? Or is there any formula to solve for the antiderivative of a certain function. Okay, so yan yung susunod nating i-discuss. Okay? So the second part will be the antiderivatives of algebraic functions. So here we will be um we will learn the theorems, okay, that will help us solve the antiderivatives of algebraic functions. Okay? But before those theorems, let's recall the wait muna, ito muna. Okay, so mamaya na yon. So we have here if f is an antiderivative of f, we write this one. Okay? So makikita na natin ngayon yung integral sign. Okay? Pag makakakita kayo nitong parang S, okay yan, ito, this is the integral sign. So how are we going to read this one? Okay? So this is the integral of f of x with respect to x. Again, hindi siya dx, but with respect to x. Pero pwede nang dx, pwede na, para diretso na tayong mag-read. So we have the integral of f of x dx, or the integral of f of x with respect to x is equal to the uppercase f of x, which is the antiderivative, plus c. This is now called as the general, itong f of x plus c, general antiderivative. Okay? If we have a certain value of c, then that is now the particular antiderivative. Why is it important to write plus c? Because we don't know the original function. Take note that the derivative of a constant will always be equal to 0. So therefore, we can let any constant. So C here is just a place value. Okay, you can put any value there. Okay, so that is just a place value, si C, dyan, or placeholder pala. Si C is the placeholder of the arbitrary constant. Okay? So kahit anong constant pwedeng ilagay dyan. But there is that certain particular constant na that will answer a certain problem. But if hindi hinahanap yung particular antiderivative, then we will just write plus C. Okay? I hope that is clear. Okay? And the antiderivative of f is also called the indefinite integral. So yung general antiderivative is actually the indefinite integral of f. Okay, so if you are finding the antiderivative, you are just taking the integral. Okay, if there is indefinite integral, meron ring definite. Okay, and we will discuss the definite integral sa mga future lessons natin. But for now, we will have this indefinite integral. So the family of antiderivatives looks like this one. This is the integral sign. And f of x is the integrand. And actually, that is the derivative. Okay? The integral sign will always come along with this dx. Okay? So, the integral sign must dapat accompanied siya by this dx. Magkasama dapat sila. Hindi pwedeng integral of f of x lang. So, dapat meron yung dx or whatever variable yung in-integrate natin. So, example, if we have in terms of x, so therefore dx. If in terms of u, then you have u. Okay, du. If v, dv, and whatsoever. Okay, so ganun lang siya. So, ito ngayon yung integral. So, kaibiganin niyo siya kasi ano siya, hindi siya boring kasama. Okay? Oh, masaya yan ka-banding. Si integral. Okay? So, ganon. Okay, is there any questions so far? Clarifications? I guess none. Okay, so once again, before we are going to discuss the theorems, let's recall the following. Ano lang to, mga, what we call this? Differentiation rules. First, the derivative of x with respect to x, we know that that is equal to 1, right? So that is the first one. Next, the derivative of x to the n with respect to x is equal to n x to the power of n minus 1, where n is any real number. That is according to the power rule. So this is just the power rule, right? Recall lang tayo. Next, we have the derivative of a times f of x with respect to x is equal to a times the derivative of f of x with respect to x. This is the constant multiple rule, right? And if you have the derivative of f of x plus minus g of x with respect to x, that is equal to the derivative of f of x with respect to x plus minus the derivative of g of x with respect to x. Okay, that is according to the sum or difference rule. Okay, take note that antiderivative is just the reverse process of derivative. Therefore, from this rules on differentiation, we can make um, rules for integration. Okay, so i-correspond lang natin yung mga theorems on integration from this rules. Now, sir, marami tayong rules sa differentiation. Like we have the product rule, we have the division, no, the quotient rule, okay, and whatnot. So from that, take note for differentiation, we have the product and the division, quotient. However, for the integral, it is not the case. Walang product rule doon, walang differentiation rules. But we have techniques on differentiation. And you will know that one sa ating mga future lessons. Okay? And some of the techniques, galing lang rin sa mga rules on differentiation. Okay? But for now, we will have the four rules muna. So we will have four theorems on the integration here. So the first one, we have the integral of dx. Okay? So the integral of, actually there is an imaginary one there, right? One with respect to x. Ganon yon. The integral of 1 with respect to x, or just the integral of dx. Take note the derivative of x is equal to 1. Therefore, the integral of 1 is equal to x. So we have x plus c. Okay? So that is from the differentiation rules. We have this integral rule. First theorem. Second, for the power rule. If n is any real number and n is not equal to -1, so the power rule here will not hold when your n is equal to -1. Then, the integral of x to the n with respect to x is equal to x to the n plus 1 all over n plus 1. Kanina sa activity 1 natin, you don't know the theorem that you had applied. But here, ito actually yung ginamit ninyo. Yung power rule. Okay? So power rule 'yon. Like what is the derivative of integral of x? Ano yung antiderivative ng x? Ganun 'yon, 'di ba kanina? Take note x has the exponent 1. So from here, from this what do you call this? From this formula, you will have x plus 1 over 1 plus 1. And that is x squared over 2, or just 1/2 x squared, which is your answer kanina. Right? So actually, yung ginamit natin ay yung power rule dito. Okay? So ito yung hidden na theorem na nagamit ninyo. Hindi nyo lang alam. Okay? So yon. The third one is for the constant multiple rule. It will still hold for the integral or the integration, on integration. So, pwede nating i-keep yung constant. So, pwede natin siyang ilabas sa integral sign. Okay? So, pwede nyo ilabas yung constant, yung, what do you call this? Numerical coefficient. And lastly, if f and g are functions defined on the same interval, then the integral of f of x plus minus g of x with respect to x is equal to the integral of f of x with respect to x plus minus the integral of g of x with respect to x. So therefore, from here, you can actually distribute the integral. Okay? Or the same siya sa differentiation rules, pwede nyong i-integrate yung bawat term. Okay, you will just skip the operation involved as long as it is addition or subtraction. Okay? I hope that is clear. Okay ba tayo dyan? Now, para mas maintindihan itong mga theorems here, let's try to apply these theorems on some examples or some functions. Yan. So here, we will evaluate the following integrals. So we have 7 integrals here. Okay, so we will try to evaluate the following integrals. So let's try number 1. Okay ba? Are we still good? Are you all good? Good pa ba tayo dyan? Kung good pa, pa-thumbs
Good,
up
sir.
naman. May thumbs up ba dito? Wala. Okay. Ayun, may pa-thumbs up sila. So, yung mga naka-phone, pwede siya mag-thumbs up. Okay? So, ayun. Okay. 4 lang ba yung good? Ayun. 5 lang? Nasaan yung iba? Are you still there? Mag-a-attendance ba ako ulit? Ayan. Very good, very good. Okay. So, magparamdam kayo kasi kung hindi kayo magpaparamdam, pwede ko kayong i-remove sa meeting. Charot. Ang harsh, no? Pero ganun yung ginagawa ko sa iba. Okay, so, I hope attentive tayo. Okay? So, number 1. Attentive pa naman kayo so far. Okay? So, let's have number 1. Number 1, we have the integral of 4dx. Ayan. So the integral of 4dx. Now, from the theorems, we only have integral of dx, right? Dapat 1 dx yan. But take note, 4 can be written as 4 times 1. Tama? So we can have 4 as a multiple of 1. And from C, from theorem C, you can take the numerical coefficient outside the integral sign. Therefore, I can have 4 here. Pwede natin siyang ilagay sa labas ng integral. So you will have 4 integral of dx. Ayan. Okay? Now, what is again the integral of dx? Kindly write it down in the comment section. If you are really listening, what is the integral of the x again? We have x plus c, or you can just have x. Then you will have plus c later. Okay? So we know the integral of dx is just x. So we will have here 4 times x. So we have 4x. Then you have plus c. Si plus c, ilagay nyo lang sa last part. So we have that one. Okay. So we have 4x plus c. And this will be our answer for number 1. Okay lang ba? Gets? Is there any questions for number 1? Okay, I think none. So let's have number 2. Okay, number 2. We have the integral of x to the power of 6 dx. Ayan. Now, what theorem are we going to apply? Is it A, B, C, or D? We have x to the power of 6 dx. So we have B. According to theorem B, we have the integral of x to the n dx that is equal to x to the n plus 1 over n plus 1 plus c. Right? So we will have here, our n is 6. So we will just increase it by 1. So you will have x to the power of 6 plus 1 over 6 plus 1. Then you have plus c. Always write plus c. Sir, what if nakalimutan ko yung c? Then I will mark it wrong. Okay, ganun lang siya. So C is very important. So you have plus C. And to simplify, we will have x to the power of 7 over 7 plus c. And this is now our final answer. Any questions? Clarifications? Is there any questions? If there is none, kindly press 2. Pa-2 naman kayo dyan. Ayun, 2, 2, 2. Very good. Now, how about number 3? Number 3, we have the integral of 1 over x to the power of 5 dx. Ayan. Now, is there any theorem that we can apply? Okay? If you have an expression like 1 over x to the something, do we have any theorems kanina that we can apply? Is there any theorem? Meron ba? Yes or no? No. But can we do something sa ating function 1 over x to the power of 5 so that we can apply the theorems that was presented earlier? May magagawa ba tayo sa 1 over x to the power of 5? Yes. What are we going to do? If yes, anong gagawin natin?
I-negative ang 5, sir. Like, isang kasi.
Okay, so therefore, we will transform this one into a negative exponent. Right? If magiging negative exponent siya, then pupunta sa taas si x to the power of 5. Then you have negative na exponent na. So you have x to the power of negative 5 according to the laws of exponents. Right? So therefore, this will become the integral of x to the power of negative 5 dx. And from that, we can now apply the theorem. And what theorem are we going to apply? A, B, C, or D? B ulit. Okay? Because we have x to the power of something. And since n here is not equal to negative 1, then we can use the second theorem. So applying the second theorem, you will have x to the power of negative 5 plus 1 over negative 5 plus 1. Then you have plus c, right? And simplifying this one, you will have x to the power of negative 4 over negative 4 plus, say, pangit naman na nasa ibaba yung negative, no? Pwede natin siyang gawing negative of x to the power of negative 4 over 4, 4 plus c. And this is now our final answer. Are we all good? Naka-follow ba tayo? Do you have any questions? Clarifications? If there is none, write 3. Press 3 naman dyan. Ayun. Okay, so may pa-press 3 na tayo. Very good, very good. Now, number 4. Try natin si number 4. We have the integral of square root of u. So our variable is u. And we will integrate that one with respect to u also. Okay, so square root of u du. Ayan. Now, do we have any theorem for radical expressions? Do we have a theorem for radical expressions? Yes or no? No again. But can we do something here? Ah, my God, okay, so yun. Nahulog yung cellphone. Ayan. Irradical? Ano? Yun? Let me review your answer. Yes, sir. Yes. Now, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to square root of u? U to the 1/2. Very good. We will transform this one into an expression with a rational exponent, right? So this will become integral of u to the 1/2 du. Okay, and from that, we can now apply the second theorem ulit. Our n here is 1 half. Therefore, we will now have u to the 1 half plus 1 over 1 half plus 1. Then you have plus c, right? And this is now equal to u to the 3 halves, right? 1 half plus 1 is 3 halves over 3 halves plus c. And pwede natin yang linisin pa. We don't want to have a fractional denominator. So pwede nyo yang i-simplify pa. And this is just equal to 2u to the 3 halves over 3. Right? Plus C. Sir, saan galing si 2U? Itong 2/3 na lang. Saan galing yan? Take note, U to the 3 halves, may imaginary 1 yan dito. Right? Therefore, you will have 1 over 3 halves. Dividing fraction, you will have the numerator multiplied by the reciprocal of the denominator. And that is 2/3. 1 times 2/3, you have 2/3. So, you have 2/3 here. I hope that is clear. And this is now our final answer. Any questions? Nagets ba yon? Or am I too fast? Can you still follow? Naka-follow ba? Is there any questions? Excuse me, sir. Unstable daw, net nila may yan. So, galisod siya og sunod. Okay. Sige lang, review na lang siya sa... That's why I'm recording this one para ito na lang rin yung ulit yung i-review ninyo. Okay? Para hindi na ako gagawa ng video lessons. Okay? So, yun. Okay ba? Okay. Walang questions? If there is none, press 4 naman tayo dyan. Ayan, very good. Okay, number 5. Number 5, we have the integral of 12y cubed minus 5y dy. So there. Okay, so yan. Now, what theorem are we going to apply first? Take note here, we have two terms, right? We have two terms. So therefore, we can distribute the integral. And what theorem is that? Is it A, B, C, or D? Letter D. Okay, so first thing that you will do is to distribute the integral. So you will have the integral of 12y cubed. Huwag yung kalimutan si dy. Minus the integral of 5y dy. Ayan. Then after that, you can see here that we have a numerical coefficient. What are you going to do? If you have a numerical coefficient, we can put that one outside the integral sign. What theorem is that? C. So according to theorem C, we can put the numerical coefficient outside the integral sign. So you will have the integral, 12 integral of y cubed dy minus 5 integral of y dy. Ang cute ng integral, no? Okay, so yan. Then after that, we will apply the, ano tawag doon? The second theorem, the power rule. So you will have 12 times y3 plus 1 over 3 plus 1. Now, sir, are we going to write plus c na? Wag mo yun nang lagyan. Pwede naman siyang lagyan ng plus c. But take note, pag may plus c yan, i-multiply nyo yan sa 12, 12c. So, 12c, 12 times a constant is still a constant. And if you will add every constant, it will sum up to a given constant. So, therefore, it will not matter. Right? Whatever that constant is. So, pwede nang sa last part nyo na ilagay yung plus c. Okay? So, wag nyong lagyan ng plus c dyan. Then you have minus 5. Then we have y1 plus 1 over 1 plus 1, right? Then, dito na niya ilagay si plus c. Are we all good? Nagets ba yan? Then after that, let's clean this one. 12 divided by 3 plus 1 is 4, right? 12 divided by 4 is just 3. So you have 3y to the power of 4, right? Minus 5 divided by 1 plus 1, 2. So 5 halves. So you have 5 y squared over 2 plus c. And this is now our final answer for number 5. Any questions? Clarifications? If you have questions, write it down in the comment section or you may unmute your mic. You can raise your hand. If there is none, pa-5 naman tayo dyan. Ayan, 5, 5, 5. Very good. Yun, 5. Okay, so that's it. Now, how about number 6? Wala kayong questions, ha? Okay, number 6. We have the integral of t times 3t minus 2 square root of t. Then you have dt. Okay? Now, you try this one on your own. I will give you 5 minutes, maybe. And I think 5 minutes is too long, but let's have 5 minutes na lang kasi bago pa sa inyo ito. You try to solve this one, then write your answer in the comment section. Alright. Ayun, at hulog ulit. Nasaan na yun? Oh my God. Wait. So, dito ka muna. Nag-feedback ba yung ano? Nag-feedback ba? Parang may naririnig ako.
Gamay, sir.
Oh my God. Anyway, okay na yan? Okay, you should try to solve number 6. Then you type your answer in the comment section or in our chat box. Kayo muna. Parang ang dilim ko talaga dito. Ano ba to? Against the light. So dapat pa na next time. Okay, we have one answer from Owen. T cube, ano yun? Nawala ko nabasa. T cube minus 4t squared square root. Ano yan? T over 5? 4 over 5 t to the 5 halves. Ganun ba yung ibig sabihin? T squared, square root of t over 5. So meaning, yeah. So, t to the 5 halves talaga. Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand. Two more minutes. O inom-inom rin kayo ng tubig paminsan-minsan, ha? Be hydrated always. One minute more. Write your answer in the comment section if you are done. Okay, Angelique. We have t cubed minus 4 fifths, t to the 5 halves. So I think the same answer with Owen. Okay, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wala nang hahabol. Okay, so let's check if the answers here are correct. So first, you have here square root of t, right? Okay? Pwede natin yung i-change muna, then we multiply it by t. So first thing that you will do is you will distribute t to every term. Okay? Take note, square root of t is just t to the 1/2. Okay? So you will now have t times 3t, that is just equal to 3t squared, right? Then minus t times 2 to the 2t to the 1/2. That is just 2t to the t times t to the 1/2. You will just add the exponents. So 1 times plus 1/2, that is just 3 halves. So you have 3 halves. Then you have dt. Then after that, we will now apply theorem C and D. Idiretso na natin. Okay? So this will now be equal to the integral of, diretso daw, pero hindi ko diniretso. Lagay na, yeah. Sige, erase, erase, erase. Okay, so we have 3. Ilabas na natin si 3, then integral of t squared dt. Naka-follow ba? Then you have minus 2 integral of t to the 3 halves dt. Right? And after that, you will have 3 times applying the second theorem. You have t to the 2 plus 1 over 2 plus 1 minus 2 times t to the 3 halves plus 1. Yan ha. Over 3 halves plus 1. Then you have plus c. Okay? And after that, let's clean this. Simplify. 3 over 2 plus 1 is just 3. So you have 3 over 3, 1. So yung matitira will be t cube na lang. Right? 2 plus 1 is 3. Minus, we have 3 halves plus 1 is 5 halves. So you have 2t to the 5 halves over 5 halves. Then plus c. Then let's simplify it further. You will have t cubed minus, let's change the denominator kasi we don't like the fractional siya. So you will have 2 over 5 halves yan. So 2 over 5 halves. This will become 2 times the reciprocal of the denominator, 2 over 5. So 2 times 2 over 5 is just 4 over 5. So you will have 4t to the 5 halves over 5. Then we have plus C. And I think the same answer siya sa binigay ni Owen and Angelique. Okay, so that's it for number 6. Any questions? Clarifications? Do you have any questions? Clarifications? Who has any questions? Wala bang pa-question dyan? Clarifications, guys? Wala. If there is none, press 6. 6. Ayan. Okay, very good. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. Ayan. Now, let's have number 7. Last number. Kaya pa ba ng space? Kaya yan. You have integral of z cubed minus 4 z squared dz. Now, you try this on your own, then you type your answer in the comment section. I will give you 5 minutes again. Go. Oh my God, low battery. Samuk. La la la. Ay, sorry. Okay, so do we have answers now? 1 minute more. Okay, from Owen, we have z squared over 2 plus 4z plus c. 4 over z plus c. Okay. Okay, the same. Oh, no, minus. Minus 4 over z. Okay, so different signs tayo. Who else? May hahabol ba? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, okay, nag-iba ng answer plus the I. Okay, sige, let's check. Now, in this case, we don't have any theorem for the quotient, right? So therefore, but take note, we have this property. If you have plus minus b over c, you can actually distribute the denominator to both terms. So you have a over c plus minus b over c, right? So therefore, this will now be equal to the integral of z cube over z squared minus 4 over z squared. Then you have vz, right? And this is now equal to the integral of z cube over z squared is just z minus 4 over z squared is 4z to the negative 2, right? So that we can apply the second theorem. Now, distributing the integral sign, you will have the integral of z dz minus 4 integral of z to the negative 1 dz. Ayan. Then, applying the second theorem, you will have z to the power of 1 plus 1 over 1 plus 1 minus 4 to the times z to the negative 2 pala to. Sorry. Negative 2. So you have negative 2 plus 1 over negative 2 plus 1. Then you have plus... shoot, sorry. Nawala siya. I-keep natin para bumalik yon. Babalik ba? Ayan. Very good. Thank you, Lord. Ayan. So, na-click ko yung pen. Then we have plus C here. Okay, plus C. Ayan. Then after that, let's clean that one. Clean talaga. So this is Z to the 1 plus 1 is Z squared over 2. Then you have minus 4. Z to the negative 1 over negative 1. So you have negative 4 divided by negative 1. Magiging positive yan. Right? So positive 4 Z to the negative 1 plus C. You can have this as your answer, or you have Z squared over 2 plus 4 over Z. Pwede nyo ibaba yung Z to the negative 1. So magiging positive 1 yan plus C. Okay, any of the two, I will accept that one. Okay, so that's it for number 7. Any questions? Any questions, clarifications? Is there any questions, guys? Clarifications? If there is none, write or press 7. Ayan, very good, very good, very good, very good. Okay, and I think that ends our lesson for today. Now, next meeting, you will have the next antiderivatives for exponential logarithmic functions and also for trigonometric functions. Ayan. Medyo marami sila, oh. Ayan. Maraming theorems yan. Ayan. Okay. So that's it for today. If there is no more questions, clarifications, I think we are going to end this one here. Okay. So I will stop presenting now. If there is no more question, wait lang ha. Okay. And I will now end the recording para di nila makita yung picture-picture natin. Stop recording.